Trevor. This is Juan, and this is the Sports Dynasty Podcast.
It really has been a minute.
It has been a minute, yeah, man. It has.
It's a combination of being burnt out and this acting like trash. And that's it. Just those two things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, but we're here.
We're back.
We're back.
But if you haven't forgotten about us, make sure you like, share, subscribe. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartradio, Google Play Radio, Stitcher Play Radio, at Podcast Dynasty on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Sports Dynasty Podcast Facebook group, and we are on Instagram at Sports Dynasty Podcast. Make sure you give us a rate on these platforms. It helps us be up with the elites, and that'll be great for everybody. So that being said,
you can start what you guys are waiting for, the NFL. Where we left off at?
We are
NFC North, right?
Yeah, we finished the NFC North last time. We're now going to discuss the AFC North, the guide for 2020 for the AFC North. Starting with the number one pick in this year's draft, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep, and I've added something to all of these now. By the way, my plans is when it's all finished, is that I'm gonna have, I guess I leave like a PDF or a Google Doc or something of my entire guide, so you can use it to do whatever the heck you want, whether to use it for educational purposes or to make fun of me later, whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter to me. I'll have it in the Facebook group. Join the Facebook group.
It's popping in there.
Yeah, I'll have it there at the end of this whole series, so you guys will have it to do whatever you want. So one thing I added here is the rankings of their 2019 offense and defense. I know it took me 4 episodes to finally do that. Well, it's here. And I have that updated for every division we've done already. So again, it'll be in the new guide. So Cincinnati Bengals will actually overall the 30th ranked offense and the 25th overall defense. You think they'd be worse or not?
Okay.
No. Oh, so you're all right. I got this. All right. So they lost their Queens Denner cornerback, who's okay. That's like their third corner.
Yeah,
but he's okay.
He went to Atlanta.
Yeah, 72 grade in BFF. It's fine. Not bad. Defensive tackle Andrew Billings, 69 grade, whatever. And the big one, quarterback Andy Dalton, which guarantees a new era in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, all the Marvin Lewis guys that's not named AJ Green and Geno Atkins, because those guys are irreplaceable, especially Geno Atkins. That era is completely gone. And Tyler Eifert is also gone.
Yes.
With 66 and 65 grade. And then linebacker Nick Vigil, which we know how thin the linebacking group is for Cincinnati. We'll get into their analysis soon. But they lost one of them.
And probably not a big deal, but they lost D. Kirkpatrick too.
Yeah, another cornerback.
So.
But they signed, we're getting to that. They decided to sign, all the outcasts of the Minnesota cornerback crew, who all got replaced. They decided to, sign them on for some reason.
Yes.
Trey Waynes and Mackenzie Alexander, both of them are in the Bengals now. So, I guess they got replaced, Both in the 60s, too, in grading, so whatever. Guard Xavier Suafilo. Yeah. His grade is 60, but he has 77 pass block grade, which means he knows how to pass block. So they could kind of use that. That was the biggest Achilles heel for the offense of the Cincinnati Bengals. So they have someone who can probably help keep the number one pick, which we'll get to soon. They signed their best signing, DJ Reader from, I believe, the Texans. Texans, yeah, with an 85 grade, which is sensational.
I think it's really good, actually.
It's really good. Safety Von Bell, I believe, from the Saints.
Yes, from the Saints.
He has 64 grade, but he has an 89 grade from the run. And again, they were the worst run defense in the NFL last year. Worst. So, and they can use anything to help that. And both AJ Green, even though he's hurt as of this moment, and their first pick from last year, Jonah Williams, their offensive tackle, both will return to action, or at least they hope so. Now the draft, which I actually really like this draft.
I did too. I'm not gonna lie. I liked it a lot.
So obviously the first overall pick
was Joe Burrow, the quarterback. Obviously, the second pick, the 33rd overall was T. Higgins from Clemson, wide receiver. I think it's really good. You have Boyd and pretty much trying to bolster the wide receiver.
Another one, man. Why not?
Why not? I think it's really good. Logan Wilson from Wyoming, the linebacker. He was 65th overall. And one of my favorite picks from this draft for the Bengals, Hakeem Gaither from Appalachian State. I think, that's a good pick. And they need all the linebackers they can get because they need it bad. So I appreciate how they went pretty much addressing everything they needed there. You had Khalid Kareem, the edge rusher from Notre Dame. Hakeem, excuse me, I said his name wrong. Hakeem Adeniji from the offensive lineman from Kansas. And Marcus Bailey, the linebacker from Purdue. Overall, I think they addressed everything they needed, and they added depth, especially for the linebacker crew. They added much needed depth. Said they were really bad in stopping the run. I think
the worst.
Yes. So I think this is a good step for. Good stuff for them right then and there, so I like the draft.
And almost every pick, according to Pro Football Focus, had at least an 85 grade. The only one that was low, but it's not a big deal, was Hakeem Gaither, who had a 76 grade, but he's still a good player. I had him in a mock draft, I think, for us.
Yeah,
I think I had him.
Definitely did.
Yeah, so I liked him. I like what I saw from him in tape, but almost all of them are in the 90s, actually. Screw 85. Only one guy was 85, and that was Khalid Kareem. But Burrow, Higgins, and Logan Wilson all graded in the 90s. Absolutely sensational players. I really like this draft, and they have a chance to do something. Not now, in 21, 22.
Of course. A lot of outlets said that they really didn't like that. Besides Joe Burrow, which was the obvious pick, they didn't really like that draft. Like, why? Like, they literally addressed everything they needed, and I think a lot of the players. For instance, Hakeem Gaither, I really like him a lot, actually. I really do like him a lot. And he's might be, one of those sleeper picks. Those sleeper picks that whatever. This is a good draft. This is a good draft.
I thought they did great.
I thought they did great too.
But what do we know? We're not on TV, so.
Yeah. No,
So the tracks for success. The first thing that has to happen is that Burrow and head coach Zach Taylor, who didn't really do well last year, not much of fault of his own, but a little bit, they have to become a duo. They have to get along. They got to get the chemistry up and make the culture of Cincinnati completely different to what it was before, which they were, losers. So they need to fix that, which is a really high scenario when AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, and Higgins just become that next triple threat that terrorizes the AFC North. I'm sorry. They're all pretty good, and I'm pretty sure T. Higgins is gonna hit. So they got to play well together. They're going to do that. It's gonna be fine. Plus, they have bust John Ross at fourth receiver now. So, am I wrong?
It is what it is, man.
So they have that at 4. Which at a 4, if he can't play well at the 4, then goodbye NFL. The linebackers. The 2 they drafted, they have to play well.
3. They drafted 3.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 3. Yeah, they have to play well. It's kind of hard to go lower than the worst. So I'm pretty sure they're going to play better than last year. I'll go that far.
I said the same thing in my thing too. I said you can't go anywhere worse than
last.
Like only we can go is up right now. Like I said, they addressed a lot of key needs on defense. They also addressed the offensive line and added wide receiver depth. And then you gave weapons for Joe Burrow to throw.
Yeah. #Miami. Can't go worse than that. That's what you do.
So.
Yeah, and the offensive line, please get better. It's not even much for Burrow as it is for Mixon.
Yes.
Save his life. That's all that matters. Burrow will be fine. Burrow played very well under pressure at LSU. So I think he'll be fine. If offensive line plays a little better, then that's fine. But be better for Mixon. Save Mixon.
Yes.
Spare him. What did he do to you? Spare him. And the most important point of them all.
Oh, yes.
Let's hope that Mike Brown, the owner / GM of the Bengals, doesn't do what he usually does and messes things up. There's a correlation with bad owners like to take over the team and do their own thing. Yeah, this is arguably the worst one. Between him and Snyder. But Snyder's not the GM, but he's one of the worst ones.
Owners in the league, yeah.
So if he decides, which he won't, he's going to mess things up because that's what he's done forever. But in the perfect world, because this is the tracks of success, so this is the glass half full approach, he doesn't mess things up and they actually have a chance to be a good team. But, yeah. We all know that's not gonna happen.
But it's not gonna happen. Me personally, I say this team will definitely improve from last year. I had them at the 5-11, 6-10 type of prediction for next year, which is an improvement. I think that they will split with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I think the Ravens are just too much for them. But hey, it's better than going 2-14. You know, 6-10 is a pretty decent thing for me. 6-10.
I have 5-11, so basically the same thing. I have them 3-5 by their week 9 bye week.
I do too. Yes, I agree.
Then they will be beating the Chargers week 1 and the Jacksonville Jaguars week 4 and Cleveland week 7. Then they'll wind up beating the Giants at week 12 and then Miami week 13, and then that's it. So they'll beat the teams that will probably be worse than them outside of the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers will be worse than them. And Cleveland either, but Cleveland's a division rival. You know how division games go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Chargers are not a worse roster than this team. But they'll beat them anyway because of the Chargers. And
they always find a way to lose.
Yeah, exactly, the Chargers. But they'll beat the Giants and Miami, who, if y'all haven't remembered from the last episode, I have them being trash. So,
yes,
these are the teams that we're beating with, a better quarterback playing in this. So I have them 5-11. Same thing as you.
6-10,
yeah. Yeah, same. Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Massive improvement from the 2-14, I believe. Massive improvement. You think a 3-win thing is not a massive improvement? It actually kind of is, because you really can tell what type of team they're gonna become with those 3 extra wins. Whether it was bull crap, whether it's they actually are looking up, like I believe they'll looking up. Things like that, I think they'll be very similar, except on the offensive side of the ball. I think the offense is going to be dynamic within a year or two. Next.
Yes. The Cleveland Browns, they finished 7-9 last year. Not last year.
Or 6-10. I don't remember.
No, you're right. It's 6-10. Sorry, 6-10. I'm sorry.
Right, it's Fetty Kitchens. You got to do the work.
Yeah, 6-10 with a roster that many have said would be AFC Championship. Better playoff roster.
People saying it's one of the best rosters in the league. Still, today saying that.
And obviously, that's a disappointment. Freddie Kitchens is gone. Hey, he's a key departure. He's fired. He should have been hired anyway, but he's fired.
Yeah, he's the first thing I wrote. My script.
Christian Kirksey is gone. Greg Robertson is gone. And Rashad Higgins.
They were 22nd overall offense and 20th overall defense last year in 2019. Surprisingly.
Yeah, Rashad Higgins is gone too. That's one of the few key departures. You got any more over there?
Joe Schobert, they lost. That was supposed to be their best coverage linebacker, even though PFF is liking very much. They gave him a 59 grade. Christian Kirksey, he didn't play last year, but that's still a departure. And Demarius Randall, but they're finding the safety department at 69. That's it. They didn't lose much. Yeah, they didn't lose much.
Yeah. But the key additions, they did sign Austin Hooper to a massive contract. I mean, I get
exactly.
To me, it doesn't make sense to me at all, because you have David Njoku, even though he's been hindered with injuries, still pretty good. And then
here's the thing. I'm going a little ahead because that's later in the segment, but I know why he's there. Their head coach is Kevin Stefanski. If you do not know who that is, that was the old Vikings head coach. What he likes to do is run a crap ton of 2 tight end sets. You know what you do 2 tight end sets? How many tight ends you need? 2. So David Njoku is a wonderful tight end, young tight end. So they overpaid for Austin Hooper so he could run his type of scheme. And he's going to more than likely be utilizing a lot of running back sets too. So they're going to be running 22 most likely, which is 2 running backs and 2 tight end sets. 22 is what they ran a lot, I believe, in Minnesota. Or did they run more 12? I don't remember. But they're going to be running a lot of 22 here, I'm assuming, because they have Nick Chubb, who's to me the best running back in the league. Of course, not including McCaffrey Goat. And Kareem Hunt. So you have to find a way to use both of them. So that's why they overpaid for this dude, even though they overpaid because he's not that good. But
yeah, very much. Okay, so continue.
And the by far the best signing, the biggest thing they could have done, which saves damn near everything, is they signed Jack Conklin to a massive deal. That is music to everyone's ears because Lord have mercy, their offensive line was so bad. Mind you, there was like 6 offensive lines that was worse than theirs. That's how bad the offensive lines were last year. But they were so bad, and they were like, I would say 40% the reason why they sucked on offense last year. The other 60 being Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield slash Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll go 40% offensive line, 40. Now that you mentioned Freddie Kitchens, I gotta mix all that up.
How do you just have them 60 together and then 40?
But Freddie Kitchens is so bad. I want to give him 100, but
he was really bad.
He was disgusting.
A lot of
bad. Play callings was so bad.
Horrible, horrific. Like, you know how Odell is. Odell, he had the same problem when he was in New York with was it McAdoo? McAdoo. McAdoo, terrible. But yeah, like I don't know, man. It's so much I want to say about Cleveland, but the fact that this roster on paper looks really, really good, but the fact that I don't see any type of any difference whatsoever. But we'll get to that later. But
real quick, they also signed Adrian Claiborne, Andrew Sendejo, and Kevin Johnson. Sendejo's an underrated pickup to me. He's a good veteran who played well with the Vikings under Kevin Stefanski, even his offense coordinator. So those good pickups. But let's go to the draft.
The draft, they picked Jedrick Wills Jr. from Alabama, 10th overall. Grant Delpit, the safety, which is a great pick. I'm pretty pissed off when you get him, but great pick for.
If Duggar plays well, it's all good.
Yeah, great pick for I like the pick from LSU, 44th overall. Jordan Elliott, the defensive lineman from Missouri, 88th overall. Jacob Phillips, the linebacker from LSU, 97th overall. Harrison Bryant from Florida Atlantic.
Third tight end.
The third tight end. On this roster, he was selected 115th overall. Nick Harris, the old lineman from Washington, go Huskies, which is a good pickup for that help the offensive line. It was pretty good. And Donovan Peoples-Jones, wide receiver from Michigan. That was their final pick in the 187th overall.
Their highest graded ones was Jedrick Wills at 88. Jordan Elliott got a 92 grade, which is kind of ridiculous. And Harrison Bryant got a 92 grade also from Florida Atlantic. So those are the highest ones. And Grant Delpit, even though he had a 66 grade, he was playing hurt last year. So the tape from last year isn't the most dependable. His 2018 grade was 84, which is really good. So that's the guy that we wanted, but it is what it is.
I think they definitely in this draft addressed it. I think the Nick Harris pick, pretty solid pick for the offensive line. I think that they obviously need to get fixed that up because,
and they know it.
Like you said, there's 6 other teams with worse offensive linemen than them, so it was pretty bad.
And it's because the other teams were historically bad. That's why.
That's true.
That's why.
They also added more weapons for Baker Mayfield. Austin Hooper, and like you mentioned before, the 2 tight end set and everything. And I don't expect to. I can see Harrison Bryant get some type of touches in this.
He's gonna play. He's gonna play.
Overall, the offense looks like they got better after this offseason.
Definitely.
They definitely got, on paper look amazing, but is it going to be enough to equate to wins though?
Well, in order for that to happen, there's another quarterback and a QB combo that has to be. Well, this is going to be Baker Mayfield's 4th head coach. So,
God, really?
Yeah, he started with Hugh Jackson. Then Greg Williams took over in that same season. Right, Greg Williams, and then Freddie Kitchens last year, and then here you go.
4 head coaches in 3 years.
This is his 3rd year.
In 3 years, that's terrible.
That's bad franchises.
And then they have like one. They have a different offensive coordinator every single year.
I'm pretty sure he has too.
That's terrible.
What happened to Rosen. People talk about Josh Rosen, even though he's a serious bust. But in Arizona, he got his his offensive coordinator fired mid-season, and he had nobody to play with. That's not Lane Life Fitzgerald. That's why he failed so quickly, because they didn't have any stability. Then he moved them real quick.
And then we realized he's a bust. I was trying to hold on to him. No, he's a bust.
No, he's a bust. It's not. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So they had to get that combo together. Hopefully, he's the one that they keep and they get to make something together. Again, the offensive line has to get together. They don't play well. You're gonna see Baker Mayfield run out the pocket like if he's Lamar Jackson and get destroyed just like last year. Hence why I almost said 40% for him because he did that way too many times. The way the team is built, I'm pretty sure Stefanski's scheme is gonna fit and it's quarterback friendly. Hence why Kirk Cousins was statistically ridiculous the last 2 years under him. And the defense matures. Myles Garrett matures and not does anything stupid and goes right ahead and plays well because their roster is just it really is stacked. They just need to play like it's stacked, and then the rest of the division has a problem. But it's very simple little tweaks that can be done as long as they have a competent head coach, which I think they do. So hopefully the front office won't mess this up because they are a bad Ohio franchise. So remember, the best Ohio franchise is Ohio State. Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. So, but for my predictions for them, like I said, stacked roster will equate to wins. I'm going to say no. No, not.
They are Cleveland.
It's Cleveland. They'll find a way to screw things up. They were 6-10 last year. They probably have one improvement by one game, 7-9. I feel that after they get destroyed by Baltimore on Monday Night Football Week 14, they'll be 4-9, and they'll win the last 3 games to wrap the season up. With the Jets, Giants, and Steelers, they'll split between the Bengals and they'll split between the Steelers. You know, only because we don't know what y'all get from them right now, and when Cleveland wants to play, they're actually pretty decent when they want to. That's the thing. So yeah, they'll wrap up 3-game winning streak to end the season, 7-9, and that's I think they'll probably be like, all right, Baker. So you gotta do from there. But this is a very talented group on paper, but I don't know.
I feel you. Me, I have in the paper I have here. I have them 7-9/9-7. They can go anywhere within that range. I went positive because I believe in Stefanski, so I went 9-7 and pushing for a wild card spot. But I don't think they're gonna get it. But pushing for it because there are 7 seeds. It's still ridiculous to say out loud. You know, in the 100 years that this league has been alive, I cannot believe there are 7 teams. Whatever. Anyway, I have them at 9-7. Similar to the Bengals, they're gonna start 3-5 also at the week 9 bye week. They'll be beating Cincy. They're gonna take a game from Indy because Indy needs to lose some games, and they'll beat the Raiders. I can't wait to get to the AFC West. That's the end though. Then they'll start winning some games, only losing to Philadelphia in that big stretch, and then they'll wind up losing the week 11, week 13. I don't know why I did not write who they lost in week 11. I messed that up, my bad. But at week 13, they'll be losing at Tennessee, and they wind up cruising into a 9-7 record at the end of the season, pushing for a spot. So I have this division very competitive.
Yes.
Very competitive. Pittsburgh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. They finished 9-7 last year.
They did. Yeah. They did?
Yes, 9-7 last year.
Holy mother, I had no idea the finish. I thought they were like 8-8 or 7-9, something like that.
9-7. You remember they lost to the week 17 game.
I know that. That's why I thought they were less than that.
Yeah, Tennessee got in because they lost.
So that means they lost in the wild card, tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker, yeah.
They were 27th in offense, which is surprising. You thought they'd be 40th, but they were 27th on offense and 6th in defense. Not a surprise.
Key departures from the Steelers was B.J. Finney. Artie Burns was not really a big loss because he. No,
that's a game.
It's a game because his name Burns. He get burnt all over the field. No, that was terrible. Bud Dupree has his franchise tag. He's not with the Steelers, which is good. Oh, I messed that one up.
No, he's franchise tag. Is there?
Yeah. Sean Davis, Javon Hargrave.
That's a big one.
Nick Vanette, Cameron Kennedy, and Tyler Matkovich, he went to Buffalo, which is pretty is what it is.
They only lost one person.
Yeah,
it's Javon Hargrave. That's it.
I only put key departures because of the names, but
no.
Honestly speaking, they didn't really lose much.
Yeah, all their grades are trash. The only good one is Javon Hargrave with 83 grade because he was actually really good. But they signed Ebron, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And they signed Stefan Winskiy,
yeah,
guard.
and Derek White. Also, yeah, I forgot Roosevelt Nix was cut too, so he's going too. Yeah, and Derek White, TJ Watt's brother, is not a fullback there, so I guess that's a
Who cares?
because of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly speaking. Who cares about that? All right. So the draft. Yeah, they were probably the poorest team in the league. I think they had the least salary cap, so they barely did anything.
Couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Their first pick they chose was
second round,
49th overall.
Their first pick was Micah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Chase Claypool, when selected, Notre Dame, 6'4", 49th overall. An edge rusher, a guy named Alex Highsmith. 102nd overall. Anthony McFarland Jr. from Maryland. Kevin Dotson, the offensive lineman. Antoine Brooks Jr., safety from Maryland. And Carlos Davis, D-line from Nebraska, was the sixth and final pick for them.
Yeah, pretty good grades. Their best one was Kevin Dotson with a 92 overall grade, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Claypool did have an 83. I'm a little questionable as to why they drafted Claypool when they have a nice young core of receivers, but
I'm guessing because I think Juju is they worried that he may hold out, which he said he wouldn't though. But they're just hoping that they'll get one in this case if Juju decides to walk next year. So
I guess that's true, yeah.
So I guess that makes sense.
To prepare for the future. That's right.
Of course. And like I said, they have a good track record with wide receivers, so I don't have a problem with it.
If only they can tell Belichick how to do that.
We had to put Andy New England in these videos. I'm already doing this all the time.
It's the Steelers, that's their boogie. So. Yeah, so the tracks for success. Their defense plays literally the exact same. That's it. That's beautiful.
Literally held them. Literally kept them in games last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's horrible.
Juju or Deontay Johnson, which is the 2 or the 3 wide receivers that I was talking about. If one of them takes a step up, that's beautiful. We're obviously there's one big elephant in the room, and that is the ancient quarterback who had Tommy John surgery. I don't care anybody tell me he had Tommy John surgery. Ben Roethlisberger. That is the absolute X factor of this entire operation. If he does not play well, then we're going to see the exact same thing from last year. If he plays well, this team is absolutely dangerous. Very, very dangerous. It might look like how the Steelers teams was looking about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl, by the way, if you guys didn't remember. Aaron Rodgers carved them to pieces. But that's what they were 10 years ago. So this team is extremely good. They just need the quarterback to put it all together. If his arm is at least 80%, they're a very dangerous team. Very, very dangerous. Since their team is the same, that's only tracks for success that really matters is Ben Roethlisberger. Who cares about anything else? To be 100% honest. Yeah, that's it. My prediction is only based if Roethlisberger is healthy. I did not even think about doing this without him being healthy because if he's not healthy, again, they're going to be the exact same. They're not making the playoffs. So, according to me, this is my prediction for Roethlisberger-led Steelers, and they're to me going 11-5. They're so good. They're so good. I have them starting on 5-2. That means the dude is slinging it. They're only losing against Tennessee because why not? And then Baltimore because it's Baltimore. They're to everybody the best team ever. So then I have them losing at Dallas week 9 for a little stinker, and then Buffalo. And then they let one go in Cleveland at week 17 because they need to ref Roethlisberger to make sure that he's healthy for postseason. And when they lose to Cleveland week 17, they'll be 11-4 already. And most likely Baltimore already locked with the division, so they're like, screw it, we'll take Roethlisberger out, let him rest a week or two, make sure he's fine, and get ready to go all in on January. But I got them 11-5 and ready to make a run.
It was kind of similar to that before, but I have them losing the first 2 games to the Giants and the Broncos, and then
the Giants. That's very interesting.
Yeah, and then going on a 4-game winning streak to go 4-2 before they meet the Ravens in week 7 and lose there, and then before they go to the bye week, they'll be 4-3 at the bye week, And then I had them losing the Cowboys in Jerry World was why not. Then I think they'll win 5 straight games after that. They'll beat the Bengals, the Jaguars. They'll take one against the Ravens, Washington, and they'll go into Orchard Park and beat the Bills. So way to go. Yeah, so they'll win 5 straight after that. Then they'll lose to the Bengals because they're in Cincinnati, and I think they'll take them on. They say that they'll split between Cincinnati.
You did say that, yes.
And then the Colts will beat them, and then week 17, the Browns beat them in week 17 because I said they'll split. So they'll be at 9-7. Still a wild card team anyway because of the extra spot. So I think 9-7 is pretty good, decent. 11-5 is I was like not too much, but I don't expect. If they can be, if Aaron Roethlisberger is there, they'll be dangerous anyway. But I don't know, just 9-7 just seems.
No, I feel you. It's not stupid to say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just assuming that he's gonna be fine, because if he's not fine, I don't really care what happens with him anymore. I just completely lose interest.
They're literally 9-7 without him.
That's what I'm saying. So if he's 80%, they're winning 2 more games to me instantaneously. Especially when the schedule was not hard because they're playing against the NFC East.
It makes sense.
There's 2 easy wins against Giants. Giants winning, which is ridiculous to me. But
I know why. I don't know. I just thought that'd be a clunker. To have a clunker.
They might. It's Pittsburgh. They're usually, especially within the last 5 years, they're known for giving up a game for like no reason. We're just looking at them like, why? But that's them. All right, these mother truckers right here.
Baltimore Ravens.
They were first in offense and third in defense.
They had the MVP.
I wonder how those went in January.
Anyway, key departures. Marshall Yanda had retired.
That's actually really bad.
Really bad. Hayden Hurst was traded to Atlanta. Michael Pierce.
I didn't even write that.
Yeah, Michael Pierce. Seth Roberts went to Carolina. Josh Bynes went to Cincinnati. And James Hurst and Patrick Onwuswar went to the Jets. Key departures. Obviously, the key additions obviously is Calais Campbell, TJ Fluker, to name a few.
You also have Derek Wolfe too.
Oh yeah, the Derek Wolfe.
That's actually pretty good. I like him
from Baltimore. I'm Denver. Yeah.
Because God knows they need their pass rush to improve. Because blitzing 50+ % times is not good. And again, they learned that the hard way. So getting Derek Wolfe, who's an underrated pass rusher in this league, that's actually a really good pickup. Plus, Calais Campbell is Calais Campbell. So they definitely got better in that defensive line. They needed it.
They were able to re-sign a lot of key players. Matthew Judon got franchise tag.
He's all right.
Sam Koch, the punter, the contract extended. Jihad Ward, Justin Ellis, D'Anthony Thomas, Jimmy Smith, Anthony Levine Sr. Other than that, they pretty much lock a lot of their plays back up though. But other than that, pretty much, it's still gonna be one of the premier teams in the AFC anyway. Even
of course, that was never in question.
Yeah. And I really like that draft. We'll get to the draft. I really like the draft. Patrick Queen, the linebacker from LSU, that was a great pickup, smart pickup too. J.K. Dobbins, the running back from Ohio State, made perfect sense there too. Especially during the ball line, and then I think it's a good pickup as well. Justin Madubuike, the defensive tackle from Texas A&M. Devin Duvernay, the wide receiver from Texas. Malik Harrison, the linebacker from Ohio State. Tyree Phillips, the offensive tackle from Mississippi State. Ben Brenton, the guard from Michigan. Roger Washington Jr. from Texas Tech. James Prost, the wide receiver from SMU. Damn, you never hear from them. Damn, like SMU. Shout out to them. And Geno Stone, the safety from Iowa. Shout out to my Hawkeyes. Yeah, so
they just retooled.
Yeah, that's what they did.
That's what they did. So their tracks for success. If Calais Campbell plays like Calais Campbell, they need to actually rush the passer, not blitz everyone all the time. Play real defense. Lamar Jackson throws the football better. I'm not going to say what I want to say. I was very professional about this.
Yes.
This continues to improve his accuracy and mechanics, because if that happens, he'll be broken, and in a good way. They have to really figure out a way to replace Yanda.
I think he retired out of nowhere. It's like, whoa.
Figure it out.
Hopefully they figure it out, because that's a huge loss. I think that's one of the hugest losses on the departures.
Yeah, because they're a running team. If you lose linemen who worked well for you, you really need to figure out a way to make that happen because the linemen, offensive line, I would say is like 75% the run. If they suck, you're not running the football. It's just that simple. So they need, in all seriousness, they need to find a way to replace him. And then they just need an additional wide receiver to learn how to play wide receiver. The only one that played okay was Marquise Brown, the rookie from last year, and that's it. Like, I know they like to throw to tight ends and whatever, but at the end of the day, you need guys who are able to run downfield, and they only got the one guy, and he only did one thing in the playoff game, and that's it. Like, they need other receivers to catch up because there were a lot of drops in that playoff game. A lot. It was pretty pathetic. Hilarious, but pathetic.
Had to do it.
Of course, I can't help myself, man. Mind you, I don't hate this team or that quarterback. I'm just hate hype. That's like the worst thing to me. Like with Zion, I hate hype. Yeah, I'm gonna make fun of that a lot on Thursday. I hate hype so much. Overhype is what really kills everything for me. But like that's pretty much it. There's stuff that is easily fixable. The hardest two things is the throwing and mechanics because that's hard, and Yanda's replacement. Like those are the two hardest things they do. If they do that, well, good luck, Chiefs. So, yeah. So for my predictions, I have them 12-4, easily 12-4. There will be no 16-0 myth. People need to get that bull out of their head because that's happening.
What the hell is he thinking? Well, he's the way he wants to. He's saying a lot of dumb stuff like 16-0. Like really?
They're so stacked. Now shut up, bro. Like I usually watch him because I actually enjoy a lot of his takes. That wasn't one of them.
It was stupid.
It was dumb. So I have them losing to Kansas City because I really believe they will never be able to beat that team. I'm sorry, I can't see it. They will lose to Philadelphia, traveling over there. They will split with Pittsburgh and split with Cleveland because Cleveland beat them last year. People don't remember that.
True.
And they beat them with Kitchens. So now they have a competent coach. They probably will take one. Probably. But they'll all, to me, be close losses. They will not get blown out at all in any case of the word. They will be losing close. So the 4 teams, that's it. And they'll probably splatter like the other, like 8 out of the other 12 that they're going to beat.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they're a good team. They're a ridiculously good team.
I have 13-3.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, see,
losses to the Ravens. No, I'm not.
They're gonna beat themselves.
Sorry.
Maybe that's how they lose. Maybe they're gonna beat
themselves. Losses to the Chiefs, the Colts, and they'll split one with the Steelers. I think the Colts are. A lot of people are sleeping on them, and I think they're gonna be healthy. When they all stay healthy, they're gonna be a very scary team. So
we'll get to my Colts.
Yeah, we'll get to your Colts. Yes.
They're still my Colts.
I think they'll get one against the Colts. They'll lose one to the Colts too. So other than that, 13-3, possibly the number 1 seed in the AFC again. But that's all that matters. You have to win in the postseason.
We'll talk about that early September, the week before week 1. We'll talk all about that stuff. So we don't have to.
Can't wait.
Don't get me to start making fun of everybody. Don't do that. Don't rile me up.
I got you.
So as of right now, if we have the guest, it will happen right now with Ask the Fans segment.
Yes.
If not, this is the end of the show.
Okay. Once again, first of all, thank you for listening to us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartradio, Google Play Radio, Stitcher Radio, and Podcast Dynasty on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Sports Dynasty Podcast Facebook group. Check it out. Everything right there is popping over there. We're on Instagram at Sports Dynasty Podcast on Instagram. That being said, we appreciate all the support you've given us. We will see you next time, and